Welcome to Dr Joe Unplugged. This podcast contains general information and is not in any way medical advice. The human body, like everything on planet Earth, at its core is comprised of atoms. All right, where are we going with this? What is, and it's a rhetorical question because I'm going to answer it, but I'll give you a moment or two maybe to think about it. What is the predominant component of the human body by percentage? So what is mainly in the human body? Ding, 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 ding. All right, water. By composition, the body is 70% water. It's a fairly significant amount. It's way more than half. Now, maybe some people at 68, some people at 72, and exactly how they work these numbers out, I'm not going to speculate. It immediately should tell us something. And it tells us that we need to be keeping hydrated. Not something you hear a lot about. You don't hear these public health messages about drinking water. You don't hear big public health coming out telling you about the importance of drinking water. Yeah, no real money in it. Interestingly, the Coca-Cola company bought water companies some years ago. I think they bought Mount Franklin, and I suspect in other countries they've also moved into this space because, people were looking to, and I think this has been a trend, to consume less soft drink and drink more water. And it's not always possible to find water when you're out and about. And the argument goes, well, do we really want to drink water out of plastic bottles? And in an ideal world, maybe we wouldn't, especially if it's been in that plastic for a period of time and it's been heated up, and those plastic bottles have particular chemicals called BPAs in them. Not the end of the world. But is it better to drink water from a tap? Look, it is. But not everybody likes the taste of tap water. Filtered water is preferable for a lot of people. And there are also arguments about filtering out a whole lot of other components that we don't want. So if you can get a water filter either attached to your tap or one that you run your water through, look, I personally think that's a good idea. But, tap water, again, depending where you live, is going to be absolutely fine. Filtered water probably a little bit better. So, all right, so the body is 70% water. That's fine. The body is not static. Now, we know that a flowing river supports life better than a stagnant pond. And we can see that in nature. So turning water over in the body is really important as well. Now, what does that mean? It means drinking water and drinking enough water every day to keep that hydration going. Necessarily, that is, and there are going to be a couple of exceptions for this. There are some people with specific medical conditions, particularly including the kidneys and the heart, where this is not going to apply. So again, I'm talking general information only. So we need to keep that water turning over. And yes, if you're drinking more water, yes, you will be needing to pass some of that water out. And a good indicator of whether you are getting enough water each day can be the colour of the urine. And if it is a paler colour, almost like a straw to clear colour, that's good. If it is a deep yellow, then that's probably telling you you're not drinking enough water because the body is holding on to it. A lot of people are chronically dehydrated and get so used to it that they don't even realise that that is the case. And there are some subtle signs that you can get very, very used to, like just being that little bit tired, just that little bit less energy, a little bit prone to headaches, for example. All right, so analysis out of America, 2,000 people. The average person experiences 57 little things, about 8 a day, that bring them happiness each week. 36 of respondents agreed that drinking enough water helps boost their mind. 31% said that they eat enough to avoid getting hungry, and 30% go for a walk to boost their mind. So simple things, not getting hungry, that generally makes you feel better. Again, we don't want to overeat, but we don't go hungry. 46% of the most hydrated respondents, and we'll put the reference down below as usual in the description, reported being very happy compared to less than 22% of the least hydrated. 71% of those who drank at least 7 glasses or more of water a day consider themselves to be an optimistic, glass half full type of person compared to 38% of those who drink less than a glass of water a day. 80% of those who drank 10 or more glasses of water a day reported believing it was very important to find joy in small things, compared to 48% who drank less than 1 glass daily. Look, this could be, again, chicken and egg. Maybe if you feel a bit better about the world, you're more likely to drink more water because you realise that it's important. If you're not feeling that happy or you're a bit despondent, I just can't be bothered drinking water. But it can be circular. So if you want to do something that's fairly simple that might make you feel a little bit better, then being hydrated could be the start of that. 35% of respondents said that when they don't drink enough water, they have low energy levels. 29% get headaches. 23% experience muscle cramps. 39% have low mood levels. 34% get irritable. 28% become frustrated. And 27% have anxiety. Once again, on these poll results, it is possible that there are other reasons why people might be experiencing some of these factors that they've described. It might not all be as simple as have a glass of water and all's well with the world. But it could also be part of the solution. So is drinking more water a cure-all? Of course it is not. Of course it's not a cure-all. But if we are slightly dehydrated and we've been that way for so long that we don't even really realise it, then we don't have the comparison until we've done something about our hydration status. And that means drinking some more water. Now, again, some people are out and about during the day, and yes, I get it. You need to find somewhere to offload some of that water if you've consumed it. Timing is part of it. If you want to drink a bit more in the morning, first up, and then you can work out, look, probably by late to mid-morning, that's when it's going to be going through your system. Think about what your day is. If you work in an office or you're at home, that's probably not going to be a problem for you. Likewise, probably not a great idea, unless you want to drink 1.5 litres of water just before you go to bed, because you will have to wake up through the night to go to the toilet. It's not wrong. That most people probably would prefer not to do that. So you can time when you drink water. You can front end it or do it more in the middle of the day. Everything I'm talking about is separate to if you're doing any sport or exercise, when obviously you need additional on top of that. But how simple might it be to do an experiment? If you think, look, I'm a little bit sluggish, getting headaches from time to time, try drinking some more water. Can't do you any harm, and I again emphasise there are some specific people in specific situations where that's not going to apply. But for vast majority of us, just trying to drink a little bit more water each day, if we're not already doing, is a very simple tweak we can do for our health. The magic number as quoted is 8 glasses per day. Now, exactly how much science there is behind that, people argue about. Another simple number is 30 mils per kilogram body weight. Surprise, surprise. If you weigh 100 kilos, you probably have more water weight. Like 70% of 100 is more than 70% of 55. So more's going to have to turn over. So the 30 mils per kilogram body weight per day is another way of thinking about it. And if you weigh, say, 75 kilos, it's still going to be about 2 litres. So it's going to be around about 8 glasses. Do other liquids count? So do coffee and tea count? Yes, people will say coffee is a diuretic, tends to put out a bit of liquid. Estimates are that it's worth about 3/4 of a glass of water. Alcohol probably also sort of, but doesn't really count, so don't include that in your water intake. If you have a glass of fruit juice, and I'd really strongly suggest it's much better to have a piece of fruit and a glass of water than a glass of fruit juice, then that probably does count to some degree. But the best, what the body is 70% water. It's not 70% coffee. It's not 70% orange juice. It's not 70% beer. It is 70% water. What's the best fluid to put into your body for that hydration? It is water. Now, even if it makes no major difference to some of those issues that we've touched on earlier in the podcast, it's still a healthy, good thing to be doing. And in the medium to longer term is going to be beneficial for you. Simple health advice doesn't get much airplay because nobody's making a buck out of it. And I don't like to be cynical, and I don't think it's necessarily malintended, but we don't get public health campaigns about drinking water because there's no research dollars in it. I don't think they can tax it, but big public health likes to tax or ban things. They want to ban water. I don't really think they want to tax it. Maybe they'd like to if they could. And you can't ban the advertising of it, so they really don't have much to go. But it's the basic simple tweaks to your health, such as making sure that you're drinking enough water, that can make a difference in the short, medium and long term to your day and your overall health without of itself being a cure for any particular condition or disease.